Oh, yeah. Actually, I think this is a good segue, Zach, if you want to react to this clip real quick. Michael Brooks could dissect grifters with such an elegance. He made it a sport. I wish we had someone else like him. Absolutely. I mean, obviously, Michael Brooks left a void that has never been filled, could never truly be filled. He was one of a kind. But I did think that I saw this on Twitter, and I thought, given our recent commentary about Anna Kasparian, it would be interesting and relevant to play this clip from 2019 of Anna calling into the Michael Brooks show with some words that I think her current self should hear.
Oof, this is going to be painful. Let's play it. Yeah, I agree. Michael Brooks is a historic loss for the left. I mean, maybe my single greatest inspiration as a commentator ever, somebody that we're always striving to be more like, be more kind, be more on point, be more well-rounded. And he was also hysterical, guys. People don't give him enough credit for being just a genius comedian.
If I wanted to be like Dave Rubin, successful, that's a very easy thing to accomplish in this world. You just have to be super, super guiltless. And I don't have that in me.
No, I think, right now we could, hey, Anna, don't you think women should maybe shut up? And the best way to have air be clean is obviously to deregulate industry, because you could write Yelp reviews of it. And if we were serious, we could get bankrolled by the Kochs today for that show and kill it.
Exactly.
We could crush it. It's the easiest hustle on the planet.
And especially if you were part of a program that had some influence, some progressive influence, and you're suddenly willing to shit on that program. I mean, yes, the offers would certainly come in. But look, at the end of the day, this isn't just about me. And I don't know, some people tell me I'm stupid for thinking this way, but hopefully eventually we'll see some positive changes. It's not just about me or my financial stability. It's about what I want to leave behind, right? And I'm not just talking about my own family. I'm talking about this country. Looking back, I don't want to be remembered as someone who was like, oh, the Koch brothers offered me a ton of money, so I decided to lie to everybody and pretend as if global warming isn't happening. And also, I just don't want people to think I'm stupid. I don't want to look stupid. And Dave Rubin looks stupid on a daily basis.
As far as I can tell, an hourly basis, because I've looked at his Twitter too. But wait, so Anna, you're telling me that you don't want, at a specific point in American history where children getting kidnapped and put in cages, where inequality exceeded the medieval era, where the last moments to reverse a catastrophic climate crisis, when the whole global balance of power was shifting, you didn't want to be known as the guy who was on TV, on YouTube, being what's going on in Oberlin's crazy. It's crazy. And you're not promoting rape. You're just saying it doesn't technically exist, right? You don't want to be that person?
Oh, my God. No, don't want to be that person.
And just to double down on that point, guys, I wanted to play this clip right here for everyone, where Anna takes the time to call out teenagers, show their faces, give a bunch of free propaganda to the press, call it a robbery when this is very clearly shoplifting. Do you see any weapons? Do you see, burglary? No, these kids went into a 7-Eleven and stole. I'm sorry, Gavin. Do you think this is the first time in American history where a bunch of kids went into a 7-Eleven and stole?
I certainly have never stolen from 7-Eleven. I can make that claim 100% honestly. Never stolen from 7-Eleven.
Never dreamed of stealing from a 7-Eleven here at the Vanguard. But let's hear about how it's a new plague and how we can all help to make California less lawless from Anna Kasparian.
Of teenagers swarm and ransack a 7-Eleven in Los Angeles. Now, these types of flash robberies have been reported 14 separate times in the past few months.
Wow,
and now, the reason why we're talking about this is because it turns out the parents of some of the offenders have had enough, and they turned their own teenagers into the authorities.
Wow, what a story of success in America. People are turning their own children over to the pigs because they got some Doritos. I bet they're really going to be redeveloped in the institutions of our judicial system, Gavin.
That kind of gives the same vibe as Kamala charging the moms of the truant children or whatever. Remember that whole story?
Exactly, and it was a disgrace, and the left lampooned her. Serious, guys, let's hear this for a little more.
All right, so let's back up a little bit, give you a little more context. So from July 12th to September 20th, from July 12th to September 20th, kids on bicycles basically swarmed 7-Eleven stores across multiple LA neighborhoods in groups of 20 to 40. And when this happens, I mean,
kids are starving in all 50 states, Anna. I mean,
there's really nothing you can do, right? Like, it's going to take forever for the cops to show up. There's too many of them. Who are you going to stop? They come in, they like swarm the place. They do what they do.
Look at how young these kids are. She's not talking about what a tragedy it is that this is the country that we've created, that economic inequality, how much parents have to work. You know, the fact that this is. She's not talking about societal erosion. She's not talking about how we can fix this, how we can provide more opportunities for these kids, why these kids aren't out playing sports, how we can get these kids to a community center, how maybe these kids, they could, be better riders. They could get into better colleges if we invested in them more. I mean, that's a Republican talking point. I mean, the governor of California used to talk about how, we can spend more money on schools or we can spend them on jails. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a basic talking point. But instead look at how young these kids are. Really quick, one last thing. You guys get the point about Anna. Look at how young this child is. She's trying to make you fearmonger about these kids. These are the criminals that are taking over California. This is the lawless state you have to point to. You just became exactly what you were highlighting in that devastating Michael Brooks clip. Oh my gosh. Thank you for pulling that, Gavin. I hadn't seen it up until now.
Yeah, devastating, right?
This kid's taking water bottles, bro. Like, they're not unpacking what's going on here. These kids probably don't have all. They see their friends, they want shit too, man. Like, yeah, it's not right to steal, but we're not having a nuanced conversation about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were like, they can't catch us all, dog.
It's also like 7-Eleven is I don't know if you know this, but it's one of the corporations with the most like brick and mortar locations in the entire world. I think there's over 90,000 7-Elevens across the entire world. They're prolific in Asia. They're literally everywhere. 7-Eleven
in Asia, they are everywhere.
It's crazy. Like, people don't realize how big of a global brand 7-Eleven is.
In airports in Tokyo,
Thailand. I think I read one time that there's more 7-Elevens in the world than there are McDonald's. Feel free to fact check me on that. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, there is a huge amount of profit being generated by the 7-Eleven corporation on a yearly basis. It's absolutely insane how much
7-Eleven has almost double the number of locations.
Double the locations that McDonald's has. And Anna Kasparian wants to come out here and do a fear-mongering segment about, can you believe it?
15-year-old kids stole. They shoplifted. It's
from a 7-Eleven.
We need to crack down on crime. These kids need to go to jail. Yeah. Thank God for their parents, And then she reads in this like the quotes from the police, and these guys are pigs. They're dumber than. They're like, thank God the parents took action. It could have gotten a lot worse. They're like, they don't give a shit about rehabilitating these kids. They don't give a shit about the root cause. You got kids stealing water. You got a 12-year-old that's rolling out with 3 packages of Doritos and a Mountain Dew. I bet you could chalk this up to like $800 in losses. That 7-Eleven's going to be fine. It max $800 in losses. It's probably like $250 in losses. They're not running through the cash register. Yeah. They're not bringing out weapons. This isn't a burglary. This isn't a robbery. It's a mass shoplifting. It's a flash mob. We've seen it time and time again. And fear-mongering about it is stupid. And then you hear Cenk be like, well, maybe these are poor kids, but it's it's because of cash bail and we're not creating enough penalties for people who steal under $1,000. And it's just like, you are not the home of progressive media. You become everything that you once stood against.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, how come these kids' parents were able to call the police on them or whatever? I thought it was now legal to steal anything under $1,000 in California. I think Anna even told us about that one time.
It's crazy, right?
What the hell?